Slow Horses is, simply put, the shit.
You really care about them, don't you?
Nah, I think they're a bunch of absolute losers. But they're my losers.
With the 5th season wrapping up this week, I feel like I haven't really seen nearly enough people online talking about how great this show is, so I'm here to bring the good word to the people. If you've ever watched an old James Bond movie or a Jason Bourne movie and thought to yourself, God, I love this spy stuff, but these movies are kind of exhausting. I wish there was something that scratched that espionage itch but was actually good. Well, guess what? There is, dummy. It's called Slow Horses. It's been quietly dropping banger season after banger season for years, and there's plenty more on the way, so sit back, relax, and let me put you on to this very British bandwagon. Or I guess red double-decker bus? I've been telling people for years how good this show is. Like, it has no right being this good, but nobody believes me. And honestly, I kind of get it. It's on Apple TV Plus, which for most people kind of fell off the map once Ted Lasso went on hiatus. But I'm telling you, Slow Horses is a service-selling show. It's that good.
Now, a cuffs won't be necessary. Come on.
I'd rather not take any chances with a man who looks like he gropes people on buses.
You're being hurtful about my appearance. I might have to call HR.
And yes, it's a BBC-based show, so everyone's British or pretending to be. And I know that turns off a certain kind of American viewer, you know the type, who says, I can't understand them while watching Peaky Blinders, but don't be that guy. The accents here are clear, the dialogue is razor sharp, and your brain will survive hearing someone say arse instead of ass. Grow up. And also, fair warning, I'm going to spoil a few tiny things. Nothing major, but honestly, you wouldn't believe me when I tell you this show is good unless I did. So, the espionage genre, especially Bond, has always been about escapism. It's cinematic wish fulfillment. The world's coolest guy is outsmarting, outdrinking, and outpunching everyone in sight while wearing a suit that costs more than my rent. Don't get me wrong, it is badass, but it's also fantasy. And when the Daniel Craig era of Bond tried to modernize things with darker themes and emotional depth, the results were mixed. Spectre, I'm looking directly at you. That's where Slow Horses flips the table. It starts like a spy show, but immediately turns every cliche on its head. Instead of hyper-competent super spies, we get the rejects, the screw-ups, the washed-up agents, the ones who barely made it through MI5 in the first place. They're old, drunk, out of shape, and honestly kind of dumb sometimes, but they're real. Here's the premise. MI5 has a subdivision called Slough House, which is basically a dumping ground for agents who screwed up too badly to fire, but too embarrassingly to keep around. You end up there if you're either terrible at your job or you pissed off someone super powerful. The job description at Slough House is basically sit here and don't break anything. It's where ambition goes to die, and it's perfect. Slough House is where the magic happens. These aren't suave super soldiers. They're broken, messy, hilarious, deeply human people trying and often failing to make things right. Look, there are plenty of reasons to watch Slow Horses. It's gorgeous, well shot, full of tension and intrigue, but the characters are what make it special. And at the center of all of this is Gary Oldman as Jackson Lamb. I mean, Jesus Christ, he rules. Oldman's clearly having the time of his life in this role, and that infectious energy seeps into every frame. Instead of a sleek, sexy Bond type, Lamb is a grumpy, bloated, chain-smoking alcoholic who smells like regret and whiskey.
You're fucking useless. The lot of you. Working with you has been the lowest point in a disappointing career. Right. Cartwright, you're with me.
He's rude, he's gross, he's perpetually disinterested in the job, and he's also one of the most compelling and quietly heroic characters on TV. Jackson Lamb is a walking contradiction. He's the anti-Bond. He's a guy who probably was James Bond once upon a time before working in real-life service caught up to him. He's incredibly lazy and super abrasive, but when one of his agents is in trouble, his Joes, as he calls them, he flips into this terrifyingly competent mode that reminds you he's still one of the best spies alive. Beneath all the grime and the farts and the cigarette smoke, there's a broken man who once cared deeply about the job and the people in it, but has lost too much over the years and now hides that pain behind booze and incredibly mean sarcasm.
Yeah. From my end of the telescope, surviving's the short straw. By the time I was your age, I'd lost a baker's dozen. It was bad enough when the wall was up, but once they reduced it to bricks and rubble, everything went to shit. Whole networks of Joes rounded up, blown. I haven't forgotten any of them.
He's an absolute masterclass in character writing, and Gary Oldman is so magnetic in the role that every time he's off screen, you kinda just wish he'd come back and insult someone. And then you have River Cartwright, played by Jack Lowden. River's the audience surrogate, a young, idealistic agent whose career crashes and burns in the show's opening minutes. He's ambitious, he's competent, and deeply frustrated by being stuck in Slough House. But the beauty of the show is how it slowly proves that he kind of belongs there. Loudon plays River with this perfect mix of earnestness, frustration, and tightly wound energy that makes him the ideal foil for Jackson Lamb. Their relationship, this push and pull between mentorship, resentment, and begrudging respect, anchors the show beautifully through its 5 seasons.
Well, you stay and have a drink if you like. As long as you get your own, don't say a fucking word.
The rest of this supporting cast is a revolving door of delightful weirdos and emotional train wrecks. First, you've got Roddy Ho, played by Christopher Chung, who's your classic hacker archetype. He's basically Q in the Bond movies if Q was an insufferable Reddit incel, because, I mean, of course he would be. And every season, Roddy Ho somehow gets worse in the funniest way possible. And then there's Diana Taverner, who's played by Kristen Scott Thomas and basically works as this world's version of M from the Bond franchise, but it's like if M were constantly covering up government crimes and quietly losing her moral compass along the way. She's incredibly good at her job, but she's willing to cross almost any line to get what she wants, and that kind of puts her on the wrong side of history. Every new character brings something fresh to the team, and every loss hits really hard. Each of them adds to the show's mix of tragedy, comedy, and how the hell are these people still alive energy. It truly is like The Office if Michael Scott ran a team of PTSD-riddled weirdos.
Look what I got to work with. A crack-up, a drunk, a psychopath, and whatever the fuck that is. All of them more functional than you.
And okay, character dramas aren't your thing. Don't worry, Slow Horses also delivers on everything else you'd want from a spy thriller. Each season builds a new mystery tied to modern political and cultural issues. There's racism and nationalism in season 1, government corruption and cover-ups in season 3, and incel culture and online radicalization in season 5. The writing is so sharp, the action choreography is intense, and the emotional beats actually hit. These are premises that could have gone horribly wrong in lesser hands, but here they are nuanced and so painfully relevant. And through all of that, it still manages to be funny as hell. The writing strikes this perfect tone between dark comedy and grounded drama. One minute you're laughing at Lamb telling someone to piss off, and the next you're genuinely anxious for the team's lives. No one's plot armor is guaranteed, and given that these spies are usually under-equipped and out of shape, the tension feels really earned. And on a filmmaking level, the show's visual language is stellar. It's all moody London grays, shot on location with cold lighting and tight compositions that feel claustrophobic and isolating. Apple's money is all over the screen. Every frame looks incredibly cinematic. It's like a spy film that accidentally got stretched out into prestige television. And as much as I hate it, I am going to give Apple some credit here. Unlike Netflix or Prime Video, who seem to cancel shows faster than you can say algorithmic underperformance, Apple seems to understand the long game. Slow Horses has had 5 seasons with no massive multi-year production gaps between seasons, just steady, reliable drops of quality television, which in 2025 feels like a fucking miracle. And they've already greenlit 2 more. That's 7 seasons of guaranteed quality storytelling. That's such a rare thing in streaming these days. Now, look, I could sing this show's praises all day. But I do have a couple of nitpicks, and because I'm a pretentious douchebag who can't just let people enjoy things, I'm going to tell you about them. First off, it's British, which means 6 episode seasons. Sometimes that's perfect, but other times it feels like you just sat down, got comfy, and boom, the season's over. The pacing can be a little uneven at times. The first few episodes of some seasons kind of simmer slowly, and then suddenly everything blows up in the last 2 episodes. Binging does kind of smooth this out, but week to week it can sometimes feel like the story is being a little rushed. Second, the show's structure leans closer to anthology than serialized. Each season is its own self-contained mission, with only light connective tissue in between seasons. So don't expect any big bads to return season after season, at least not yet, but we'll get to that in a second. It's not bad, but sometimes it's kind of jarring to watch these characters go through some massive trauma in one finale only to shrug it off and be back at work in the next premiere 5 minutes later. Season 4, though, breaks this pattern beautifully, setting up what feels like a much larger ongoing narrative. Minor complaints aside, I have almost nothing negative to say about this show. Every episode leaves me wanting more, and that's a good problem to have. Every season of Slow Horses is great, but I do want to kind of shine a spotlight on season 4 because it is the crown jewel among the rest in my humble opinion. It's the perfect blend of personal stakes, political intrigue, and emotional carnage, and it has a legit Bond-level villain in Hugo Weaving. Hugo Weaving brings this calm, menacing energy to the show that really works for me. His villain has deep ties to our main characters, and the way his story collides with theirs is genuinely shocking. Season 4 opens with one of the best hooks in the whole series and keeps that tension cranked the entire time, and ends on a cliffhanger that had me incredibly excited for more. And unlike the other seasons, that cliffhanger looks like it's going to be explored through a multi-season arc. It's not a one-off thing. Things are not cut and dry at the end of season 4. Honestly, all of the seasons of this show are really good. Season 1 is still a fantastic starting point. It's super tight and efficiently written. It's really good. And the most recent season, season 5, has been solid as well, but it did kind of feel like a return to the status quo after the chaos of 4. But 4, oh man, 4 is by far the best one. That's Slow Horses firing on all cylinders. Look, if you love smart, character-driven television that actually gives a damn about its writing, please just give Slow Horses a shot. It's all just sitting there on Apple TV Plus waiting for you. It's a smart, emotional, well-made, funny TV show. It's everything that TV used to be before algorithms started deciding what we watch. I mean, as of recording, it's only 30 episodes total. That's nothing. That's a season and a half of Supernatural. Pay the $15 or whatever it is a month, binge it, cancel, and come back next year. Or, find other means. I'm not saying pirate it, but I'm also not your dad. Apple isn't paying me to open my mouth this wide for them anyway, so I don't really care how you watch it. Just watch it. And that's everything I've got on Slow Horses, but please leave a comment down below if you agree or if you're a super fan like me, and also leave a like on the video if you enjoy what I do here. It really helps let YouTube know it needs to show my videos to more wonderful people like you. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to Nostalgia Mode for more entertainment related videos. Until next time,